As I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, let us give a warm round of applause to the Premier of the State Council of the People's Republic of China, Mr. Li Qiang, His Excellency Andrzej Duda, President of Poland, and His Excellency Pham Minh Chinh, Prime Minister of Vietnam, as well as founder and chairman of the World Economic Forum, Professor Klaus Schwab.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 15th annual meeting of the new champions here in Dalian, China. Returning to this beautiful coastal city after 5 years is significant for the World Economic Forum and what we call our summer Davos. The theme of this year's meeting is Next Frontiers for Growth. In today's world, risks and opportunities coexist. We face major issues such as environmental challenges, energy transformations, rising geopolitical tensions, and social challenges such as pandemics, aging, and widening income disparities. At the same time, we are witnessing rapid technological advances with many opportunities and with artificial intelligence rapidly transforming our production and our lives. And breakthroughs from the fourth industrial revolution provide new opportunities for global prosperity and growth. All those factors will have a profound impact on the future of humanity, provided we are able to work together. To drive future economic growth, we must embrace innovation and foster collaboration across sectors, regions, nations, and cultures to create a more peaceful, inclusive, sustainable, and resilient future. At this critical juncture, the active participation of all stakeholders is essential to ensure a sustainable development path. I'm delighted that close to 2,000 leaders from multiple sectors representing some 80 countries and regions have come to Dalian for this year's meeting. It demonstrates how important personal interaction is. You, the participant, represent the most outstanding talents from business, government, academia, and civil society. You are the pioneers, innovators, change makers, and visionaries who are leading the way in human progress. Today, we are extremely honored to have with us at this opening plenary His Excellency Li Qiang, Premier of the State Council of the People's Republic of China. His Excellency Andrzej Duda, President of the Republic of Poland, and His Excellency Pham Minh Chinh, Prime Minister of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Premier Li, President Duda and Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, will share with us their views in this opening session on today's world and the development opportunities of the three great countries facing different challenges but embracing opportunities politically, geopolitically, and socio-economically. This January, at Davos, Premier Li delivered a special address at the opening of the Winter Davos of the World Economic Forum 24 annual meeting. It was thought-provoking and resonated deeply. Premier Li emphasized the importance of multilateral cooperation and provided a roadmap for China's role in promoting global economic recovery. Last year, despite internal and external challenges, China achieved remarkable economic growth, ranking among the top major global economies. China has set an encouraging economic growth target of 5% for this year. I would like now to invite His Excellency Premier Li to deliver his special address to share with us the opportunities in China's future development. Please welcome Premier Li.
Your Excellency President Andrzej Duda, Your Excellency Prime Minister Fan Bingjing, Professor Klaus Schwab, Your Excellencies, heads of international organizations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning. It is a great pleasure to join friends old and new here in the beautiful city of Dalian for the 15th annual meeting of the new champions. Let me begin by extending, on behalf of the Chinese government, warm congratulations on the opening of the annual meeting and cordial welcome to all participants and journalists. Like Professor Klaus Schwab mentioned, it has been 5 years since the Summer Davos was last held in the beautiful city of Dalian. In the past 5 years, global transformation not seen in a century unfolded at a faster pace, and world economic development reached a critical juncture. As many people wonder where the future of the world lies, this annual meeting, focusing on next frontiers for growth, is particularly relevant. I believe you all have your own thoughts and insights about the significance and value of exploring next frontiers for growth. Here, I would like to share with you 3 observations of my own. First, we need to confront the growth predicament of the world economy. We know the road to recovery has been treacherous since the onset of COVID-19. According to forecasts of the International Monetary Fund and other institutions, global growth may remain moderate or even slow in the coming years, and generally below the pre-pandemic level. Anemic global growth is not only caused by temporary factors such as impact of the pandemic, high inflation, and rising debt. It is also ascribed to some deep-seated problems and intrinsic issues. From a cyclical perspective, the 3 industrial revolutions since the 1760s which were respectively marked by the utilization of steam engines, electricity, and information technologies, all transformed the way of production and life in human society. Each was followed by a surge in global growth. However, when the impetus unleashed by existing technological models diminished, global growth would slide into a period of stagnation. This is a pattern. The impact of such fundamental transformation is manifold. At the macro level, we would see a slowdown of economic growth and find it more difficult to make the pie of global economy bigger. At the meso level, we would see declining return on investment and diminishing returns to scale, with more business sectors turning from blue oceans to red oceans. At the micro level, we would see intensifying competition among market players and spiraling involution, a word created and popular in China. The neck-to-neck contest for available resources is to some extent triggering problems including backlash against globalization and escalation of geopolitical conflicts in some places in the world. Confronted with the growth predicament of the world economy, maximizing one's own benefits at the expense of others' interests, or even resorting to regressive actions of decoupling, disrupting supply chains, and building small yards with high fences would only push up operational costs, sever the economic links between regions, and aggravate tensions and disputes. This would drag the world into a destructive spiral where the fierce competition for a larger slice ends up in a diminishing pie. This is something we do not want to see. As we Chinese often say, range far your eye over long vistas. In the current context, the right choice is to approach development issues with a longer view and broader mind, and join hands with others to make the pie bigger while pursuing one's legitimate interests. This is how we could sustain the growth of the world economy and open new horizons for our own development. The second point I want to share with you is that we need to seize the new opportunities brought by the scientific and technological revolution and industrial transformation. This is very important. To overcome the growth predicament, we need to cultivate new engines for growth. We're delighted to see that as the new round of sci-tech revolution and industrial transformation deepens, global innovation activities in science and technology have become more intensive and dynamic than ever before, with the sparks ignited across domains. Next frontiers for growth are starting to take shape. From a technology perspective, this round of sci-tech revolution is mainly powered by progress in intelligent, green, and health technologies. The rapid advance of cutting-edge information, energy, and biological technologies has provided new pathways for tackling climate change, energy crisis, and other major challenges facing humanity. It has also notably enhanced the quality and efficiency of the supply system and catalyzed and generated massive new demand. From an industry perspective, breakthroughs and integration of frontier technologies have redefined traditional production function, triggered a quantum leap in productivity, and opened up new domains and avenues of business, including artificial intelligence, green energy, and biomedicine. I believe these sectors have the promise to evolve into multi-trillion-dollar pillar industries. and our business communities have high hopes for such sectors. From a business model perspective, as the sci-tech revolution progresses, the organization of economic activities and industries is undergoing rapid and salient transformation, which is characterized by the features of platform-based operation, networked structure, and ubiquitous presence. New forms and models of businesses are quickly emerging, especially in China. These include online services, C2M customization, and smart manufacturing, making our life smarter and more convenient, and giving everyone a fair and accessible chance to participate. In a word, a number of frontier technologies and industries with the potential of explosive growth are metamorphosing and ready to burst onto the stage. This brings light and hope for catapulting the world economy into a new upward cycle. We have confidence in that. To embrace the global trend of sci-tech advances and industrial development, all countries are making forward planning and deployment. China has also taken exploratory steps in this regard. In recent years, we have continued to promote high-quality development, accelerate the cultivation of new quality productive forces, and foster new drivers of growth. These efforts have provided strong dynamism for China's economic development and created greater cooperation space for companies around the world.
The rapid rise of China's new industries is in line with the global trend of sci-tech revolution and green development. Seizing the favorable opportunities from the sci-tech revolution and industrial transformation worldwide, China has been working hard to advance sci-tech innovation. We encourage companies to be first movers and make continuous investments in cutting-edge fields. Now, after years of cultivation, a number of enterprises and industries in China has gained an edge internationally. In particular, in recent years, China has been vigorously developing green industries, such as new energy, to address climate change with concrete actions and meet our twin goals of carbon peak and neutrality. And as a result, China's installed capacity of hydropower, wind power, solar power, and nuclear power under construction has all been topping the world for many years running. And the renewable energy now accounts for over 50% of China's total installed capacity. And the advanced electric vehicles, lithium batteries, and PV products made by Chinese companies have not only met domestic demand, but also enriched supply in the international market. It has also eased the pressure of inflation worldwide and made our active contribution to the global climate response. The rapid rise of China's new industries is rooted in our unique comparative advantages. As you know, China has a supersized market of more than 1.4 billion people. We have a complete industrial supporting system, abundant labor force and talent pool, and also, and more importantly, diverse scenarios for application. Plus, Chinese consumers are fairly receptive to new technologies. And all these make China a broad stage for enterprises to pursue innovation and upgrade their products. The economies of scale can effectively help to reduce innovation costs for enterprises and accommodate the growth of different technology roadmaps and business models in China. And that is how China's emerging industries get their competitiveness. The rapid rise of China's new industries is a testament to the principal role of enterprises in innovation. Enterprises stand at the forefront of the market, and they are most sensitive to the changes of demands, and they have the strongest desire for innovation. And from the Chinese government's perspective, we have been doing our best to foster a market-oriented, world-class business environment within a sound legal framework. And to that end, we've been abolishing regulations that limit market access and fair competition, facilitating the flow of factors of innovation to enterprises, and promoting fine entrepreneurial spirit so that enterprises can fully unleash the dynamism of innovation. I would also like to say that China's large market is open. Foreign companies, they compete, communicate, and cooperate with domestic ones on a level playing field, and they have become a major force, enabling the birth and growth of emerging industries. The rapid growth of new industries and new drivers has buttressed the sound and sustained development of the Chinese economy. Since the start of this year, the Chinese economy has sustained the momentum of recovery. It got off to a good start in the first quarter of this year with a 5.3% year-on-year growth and continued steady growth in the second quarter. We are confident and capable in achieving the growth target of around 5% for this year. And that concludes my second point. My third point is we need to open up a vast blue ocean for future economic development. Facing the major opportunities brought by the latest round of sci-tech revolution and industrial transformation, we will, as always, keep to the direction of building an open world economy, harness the momentum, make bold explorations, and work together to create new development space. And in this connection, I wish to propose the following. First, deepening sci-tech exchanges and cooperation. Science and technology are key variables in future development. And major sci-tech progress usually comes from unrelenting research, accumulation, and extensive cooperation. The exploration of new frontiers should not be seen as a zero-sum game. It is a process where all players compete for excellence and make progress together. A small yard, high fence approach cannot hold back the development of others. It only ends up constraining oneself. The wise thing to do is to create an open, fair, and non-discriminatory environment for sci-tech innovation on the basis of protecting intellectual property, so as to enable the free flow of ideas for innovation and creation. Second, enhancing the foundation for green development. There is only one Earth for humanity. Growth in the future has to be premised on harmony between man and nature. We need to stand by the goals and principles of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and its Paris Agreement, including follow the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities, and deliver on our respective emission reduction responsibilities. We cannot slow down our pace in green transition in exchange for short-term growth, nor practice protectionism in the name of green development or environmental protection. Green transition itself provides huge potential for development. We need to jointly advance the development of green and low-carbon industries and foster more growth drivers for the green economy. Third, safeguarding an open market environment. The history of global economic development shows that openness brings progress and isolation leaves one behind. Only through open interactions, exchanges, and mutual learning can we keep pushing the boundaries of development and discover and open up new frontiers. In many ways, the depth of international cooperation determines the height of human development. So it's essential that we embrace each other with open arms and work closely with each other. Reject bloc confrontation and decoupling, keep industrial and supply chains stable and smooth, and advance trade and investment liberalization and facilitation so as to promote the sound development of globalization and form a strong synergy for global economic growth. Fourth, promoting inclusive and mutually beneficial development. New technologies such as AI and big data, while contributing to economic growth, may also cause problems such as structural unemployment, economic inequality, and the technology and AI divide. It's important for us to coordinate the development and governance of new technologies and make timely improvements to laws and governance frameworks to address conflicting rules and social risks brought by frontier technologies and industrial development, and strive to achieve more inclusive development that benefits all. It's also important to provide education and training to vulnerable groups and upskill the workforce so that more countries and people can benefit from innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, development has no limits. Exploration knows no boundary. China stands ready to join hands with all countries to sail the giant ship of the world economy into a vast blue ocean and create an even brighter future for humanity. I wish the annual meeting a full success. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier Li, for your speech and particularly for your commitment to global cooperation, but also highlighting so much the opportunities which we have in the future based on the new technologies, and also, I should add, in a transformation to a much more green technology and green economy. Again, I think global collaboration, long-term collaboration, to move to new horizons is essential. Your Excellency, I would like to, if you agree, to follow up with two questions. The first one concerns China's economy. The GDP of China, the growth rate reached 5.2% in 23 and further increased to 5.3% in the first quarter of 2024, signaling a steady economic recovery from the impact of the pandemic. The global media has also observed indications of China's economic stimulus policies, particularly those targeting the real estate market. This poses a question of how the Chinese government will effectively balance the need for short-term stimulus against long-term challenges such as high debt levels, aging population, and low consumption. I ask a difficult question, but we are all eager to have your answer prominently.
Thank you, Professor Schwab, and all of you for your interest in the Chinese economy. Actually, this question does involve many aspects, but it's also very targeted. I believe the most fundamental thing is how to properly handle the relationships between short-term and long-term, and between symptoms and root causes. So I'm wondering if I can use two analogies to share with you some of our practices. The first one is a concept in traditional Chinese medicine. It's called keeping the roots healthy. It's quite a catchphrase in traditional Chinese medicine. In the aftermath of COVID, the economy is like a man who just recovered from a major disease. In traditional Chinese medicine, at that time, you can't treat them with powerful remedies, but instead, you should take targeted remedies and nurse him with care and let him slowly recover his health. So in terms of the economy, the roots, as I said, are to some extent the foundation supporting economic development. Only with such a foundation can you achieve better development. So in the past years, we've been taking a lot of measures and done a lot that are aimed at keeping the roots healthy. For instance, we attach great importance to sci-tech innovation, and in particular, we have increased the tax deductions for the R&D expenses of enterprises. The goal is to enhance innovation as a key driver of growth. And Professor Schwab, as you know, this year we have decided to issue a program of large-scale equipment upgradation and consumer goods trade-in. And we also decided to issue ultra-long special treasury bonds. It aims to address strategic and fundamental issues in the process of modernization. And these issues include both hard investment in infrastructure and soft investment to promote high-quality demographic development. And all these efforts will consolidate the foundation and deliver long-term benefits. And that is what I mean by keeping the roots healthy. The second analogy is related to the sport of boxing, the combinations of punches. Major economic issues usually involve different aspects. So as we often say, many industries are cross-discipline, and so does a policy. So for many major issues, one single policy simply won't work. So we will take a combination of policy measures and instruments so that we can have a stronger and more robust measures. As I said, this year we are advancing the large-scale equipment upgrading and consumer goods trade-in program. This is a very typical example of a policy combination. It would not only expand investment, boost consumption, and unleash domestic demand, but also promote industrial upgrading. The toolkit not only includes fiscal support, but also financial means, and at the same time, we are also mobilizing enterprises. And in a way, these are multiple measures for multiple purposes. As Professor Schwab mentioned, there is the issue of aging. Indeed, many countries, including China, are faced with this major issue. But I believe we should first put aging in perspective. As medical and living conditions continue to improve, people's life expectancy is also rising. This is a positive aging, and is what I call a healthy aging. The elderly population is still a valuable asset of our society. And of course, aging has led to the changing in the demographic structure and the increase in the cost of elderly services. We need to take long-term perspectives in response to these issues, and also take policy combinations to actively respond to these issues. And from the Chinese government's perspective, we are working, especially in these years, we have increased input to improve the elderly care system, including institutional building and also financial support and funding. We also support different places in developing the silver economy. We have also given better play to what the elderly people can still offer. And we have been developing elderly human resources. And these are the policy combination to address aging. I think an effective response to these issues can not only help us better respond to aging, but also foster new growth drivers. In short, for the Chinese government, whenever we conduct macro regulation or take specific policies, we focus both on short-term and long-term effects, and also strive to address both symptoms and root causes. And we will try to find a balance among different tasks and make steady progress in pursuing high-quality development.
Premier Li, there are so many entrepreneurs and new technology leaders sitting in this audience, and you have highlighted very much the importance of technology and science in developing the new industries. Now, we are aware that in recent years, China has made numerous very impressive breakthroughs in cultivating cutting-edge emerging industries, but it has also faced some difficulties. Could you please tell us what are China's considerations for the next steps in developing those new technologies and strengthening new industries? Do you have any significant measures which you will introduce in this respect?
Indeed, as Professor Schwab just mentioned, all countries attach great importance to developing new technologies and new industries. China makes no exception. I've already shared some of my observations in my address. More specifically, I think we should focus on some key links and take into consideration 3 factors: the development characteristics of new technologies and new industries, China's national conditions, and unique advantages of different places. Especially, we need to work on those important links. First, keep improving industries through innovation. The source of industries is technology. As we Chinese say, running water from the source keeps the canal clear. Only when new technologies keep emerging can we provide a steady flow of impetus to the development of new industries. This requires more results of original work or the breakthrough from 0 to 1. In recent years, China has enhanced its work in basic research. We highly value the development of strategic sci-tech capacities. We promote the enterprises to innovate, to improve industries through innovation. Second, make good use of China's application scenarios. For a new technology to become a new industry, it takes a difficult process. It must cross both the Valley of Death and the Darwinian Sea. This process is full of risks. We have to hedge against or to lower the risks. Abundant application scenarios must be created in this regard. And China has its unique advantage in application scenarios. As I've just mentioned, first, we have a supersized market. And China has complete industrial categories. And third, China has various demand levels. Many different kind of ideas will become reality in China because of these advantages. And seedlings of innovation can find their matching soil in China. This is our advantage in application scenarios. Third, focus on the role of the market. China has been saying two things about economic development and governance. First, we must let the market play a decisive role in resources allocation. Second, let the government play a better role. To develop new industries, it's important to rely on the market and the companies. China is home to more than 400,000 high-tech enterprises and over 100,000 specialized and sophisticated SMEs. All of these companies have grown from very fierce competition. This kind of hard work and entrepreneurship and the spirit of facing difficulties head-on motivate the growth of new industries. For the government, the key is to foster a sound innovation ecosystem, unleash innovation across society, and promote the sound development of new business models and forms. So these are the main factors here. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier Li, for your candid answers. And please give another round of applause to Premier Li. Now I would like to invite His Excellency Andrzej Duda, President of the Republic of Poland, to deliver his special address. President Duda, you have a long-standing relationship with the World Economic Forum, and I have the honor to receive you practically every year in Davos at the winter meeting. And now it is an honor to have you here with us today at the summer Davos, at the annual meeting of the new champions. Thank you for taking the time from your official state visit here in China to join us in Dalian. Please welcome President Duda.
Professor, for this excellent introduction. Wielce szanowni
Distinguished prime ministers, and distinguished Mr. President, Professor of the World Economic Forum, distinguished ministers, honorable presidents, CEOs, ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs gathered here in Dalian, young leaders gathered here, honorable guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to be able to participate in the World Economic Forum's annual meeting of the new champions in Dalian. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me to this extremely important event. Professor Klaus Schwab has just highlighted the fact that, indeed, every year I attend the Davos Forum, and I consider it a very significant meeting. First and foremost, it is a forum of the exchange of thoughts about politics and economy, but it is also a very valuable venue of the leaders, political leaders, economic leaders, but in the first place, and I want to stress it, young leaders. Those whom we often refer to as young production capacities. The ones who have got innovative minds and whose presence in the contemporary world, in the contemporary economy, is of key importance to ensure development. Because as Prime Minister has just said, there is no industrial development without innovation. Without innovation, industry is stuck and it only gets old, especially compared to others who go forward all the time, who keep moving on. And for us, not only to go ahead, but for us to be able to set new roads, to blaze new trails, we need innovative mindsets, we need new roads, we need out-of-the-box thinking, and this always is a huge challenge, which we have to confront, but also which young leaders are confronted with. Having said that, I'm happy that so many young people are present here during this New Champions Forum in Dalian. I'm glad that they are discussing about the future development of the economy. Of course, they are discussing the development of the Chinese economy, but also global economy. And also my country, Poland, is part of the global economy. I listened closely and attentively to the speech of Mr. Prime Minister Li Qiang. And actually, we had very important talks in Beijing yesterday. I am delighted that our two states, that is my country, Poland, but also China, are linked for tens of years by such excellent relations. This year, we mark the 75th anniversary of establishing of our diplomatic relations, which have been very good and uninterrupted. The official visit, which I'm paying right now to China, following the invitation of President Xi Jinping, is my third visit here to China in my capacity as President of Poland. And I am hugely impressed with the dynamic development of China, of this Middle Kingdom, the development it has witnessed over the recent decades, but also its development year on year. China is becoming absolutely one of the global leaders. But let me highlight at this point, as President of Poland, that Poland as well has experienced in Europe a development which on the European scale, but also on the global scale, is absolutely unprecedented. Ladies and gentlemen, as Confucius used to say, tell me your past and I will tell you what your future will be. So please let me tell you briefly something more about my country, about Poland, about the state of successful economic transformation, and about today's leader of growth. But first and foremost, an excellent, and I want to stress it, excellent place for investment. And I would like to encourage all of you here to invest in my country. So Poland lies exactly in Central Europe. Poland is part of the European Union, but first and foremost, it does lie in the heart of Europe. If you look at Europe as a whole, from the Ural Mountains all the way to the ocean, to Portugal, Poland is located right in the middle, in the very center of Europe. The center of Europe is in Poland. We say that Poland is located in Central Europe. If you look at Europe, Poland is quite big according to European standards, but I believe that our hosts, if they think about China, they will smile. 322 square kilometers, 1,000 square kilometers, that is the size of Poland, 38 million people. The population is 38 million. But looking at European conditions, Poland is quite a big state. And as I mentioned before, especially, it is a state of dynamic development. Poland lies on the coast of the Baltic Sea. We have got seaports, very well developed ones. We also have our shipyards. Poland has a border with Russia, with a Russian exclave called the Kaliningrad Oblast. That's what Russians call it. Poland calls it Królewiec. Poland also has a border with Lithuania to the north. It has a border with Belarus from the east, Ukraine as well. To the south, it has a border with Slovakia, with the Czech Republic, and to the west, it borders on Germany. These are our neighbors. And as I said, we lie right in the heart of Europe, and we are a very significant place in terms of connectivity between the East and the West. And I will give you more details on that later on in my speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make you realize the scale of development experienced by my country for 35 years, starting from 1989. And here I need to give you some statistics. So, ladies and gentlemen, starting from 1990, the scale of growth of GDP in Poland has exceeded 1,000%. We started from the level of less than $66 billion to the current level of more than $800 billion. So this gives you a picture of the incredible change that we have experienced in Poland over those tens of years. The per capita GDP growth grew from $6,100 in 1990 to more than $46,000 now. The most important financial institutions globally predict that the next years will bring further continuation of the trend of Polish people getting richer and richer. We have already surpassed Greece and Portugal in the European Union in terms of the disposable income per capita. In the next years, according to forecasts, Poland will catch up with Spain and then also with Italy. Having said that, we are experiencing this development. It is unstoppable, and despite all the crises, despite the coronavirus pandemic, and despite the recent energy crisis, which we experienced due to the Russian aggression against Ukraine, we have experienced an uninterrupted growth, which is ongoing. Behind these excellent economic results, there is the wisdom of a lot of political decisions which were made by Polish authorities over the last 35 years. The key moment at the beginning of that road was radical departure from the centrally planned economy. We switched on to the principles of the economy based on free trade. We built efficient and stable economic and state institutions. We decided to integrate, to join the European Union, and now we are part of it. We have been part of the European Union for more than 20 years now. Thanks to all those factors, we are credible, predictable, and right now we are also stable over all those years. Another factor thanks to which we have changed so much is the thing which is most important. That is people. Simply speaking, Polish society. We are an ambitious nation, a creative nation. We are ready to make sacrifice. We are hardworking and consistent. And our economy knew how to use those assets. Economists agree that the wealth of states depends largely on innovation and investment in human capital. 4 decades ago, only 6.5% of Poles had a university diploma. Right now, if you look at 30-year-olds in Poland, every second of them, 50%, are graduates of universities. This also gives you the picture of change that we have experienced. Last year, Polish universities were graduated by 55,000 students in technical departments and IT departments. And they, first and foremost, constitute the new production force. They are the drivers of development in Poland. I mentioned that in the beginning of my speech. They are employed in the global R&D centers in Poland, and thus they contribute also to the development of the state-of-the-art technologies, the technologies of the future. However, our growth model, our model of economic growth, also takes on board social dimension. So our wealth has translated in better living standards of all people, and I want to stress it very resolutely. Poland has become a country with very small differences in income. There is a minimum discrepancy as far as income is concerned across different regions of our country, and we believe this is a huge success. Those development disproportions have been eliminated, especially in the last 9 years, where we concentrated very much and focused very much on the policy of providing equal level playing field, equalizing chances, giving same perspectives for development. And generally, we wanted to provide a level playing field for everyone, especially in terms of infrastructure and development. Ladies and gentlemen, we were able to achieve that largely thanks to a very consistent strategy of sustainable development. Apart from that, we also went on down a very difficult path. We started from a very high level of unemployment that was in the beginning of the transformation process, that was in the early 1990s. Back at that time, all sectors of obsolete industry just collapsed, went bankrupt. People were unemployed. But we moved all the way, and now our unemployment rate is one of the lowest across the European Union. Over the last 20 years, the problem of unemployment in Poland has been actually eliminated. Unemployment rate fell down to one of the lowest levels, as I said, in the European Union. At the end of last year, our unemployment rate stood at 2.7%. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to opening our economy to foreign investments, we attracted the capital, know-how, and new technologies to our country. This accelerated significantly the dynamic economic growth of Poland. And since that time, the worth of direct foreign investment in Poland has grown by more than 300%, looking in comparison to 1990 as the base year. I encourage all of you, ladies and gentlemen, to have a closer look at the opportunities which Poland is offering today. Poland is safe, secure, it is stable, it is a prospective location for foreign capital and for foreign investment. Poland guarantees non-discriminatory business environment, and those willing to operate their business in Poland, to invest in Poland, can count on a very broad range of instruments of support, including grants and tax breaks. Ladies and gentlemen, a Polish recipe for growth also includes extensive development of infrastructure, which takes into account our specific geographical location. My country, for centuries, as I mentioned at the outset of my speech, has been a bridge between the East and the West. As I said, we lie in the very heart of Europe. In Poland, we are at the crossroads of the most important road networks and rail networks which connect our continent. It is in Poland that we have got intermodal terminals in Małaszewicze and Sławków, where the broad gauge Trans-Siberian train line ends. And today, trains come there also from China. To be more precise, from Chengdu, we have got a direct connection, which is one of the most significant routes which implements the Belt and Road Initiative. That is a huge economic link connection between China and Europe, between China and the European Union. And precisely for this reason, it is fair to say that we cannot imagine economic presence in Europe today, especially economic presence of China in Europe, without Poland or omitting Poland. Due to our geography, due to our size, due to our geographical conditions, Poland is a country with plains. There are, to a large extent, no mountains and no hills, and this is of key importance. Our strength is also the ability to create synergy inside regional formats. And Poland, as I said before, as a big European country, is a leader in those regional formats. One of such formats is, among others, the Three Seas Initiative. It brings together countries of Central Europe between three seas: the Baltic Sea, the Black Sea, and the Adriatic Sea. And today, it brings together 13 countries which are members of the European Union. They have a close cooperation with each other, and they also coordinate very closely their activities on a daily basis, especially in terms of infrastructure development. As part of this initiative, for almost 10 years, we have been implementing investments which are strengthening our region in terms of transportation, energy, and digital solutions. We are consistent in developing regional road and rail infrastructure. We are building gas interconnectors and also ports, seaports. Right now, we are developing a container terminal in the western part of Poland, in the city of Świnoujście. This investment is ongoing right now. We want to be even more open also to receive goods coming to Europe from China. We want to be open also to this maritime route of the Belt and Road Initiative. New connections give a chance to strengthen the transport and connectivity of our economies, of the countries of the Three Seas Initiative. As I said, these are 13 countries with 120 million population. So if you look at the European Union, we make a powerful part of the European market. We are a powerful part of the EU market. And let me stress one point. This part is developing fastest across the whole European Union. The most ambitious nations. We are the most ambitious nations who are making up for the backlog, who are catching up, and we are developing most dynamically, as I said. Hence, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to get interested in the Three Seas Initiative and in the investment opportunities offered by this format. I invite you to Warsaw, where in April next year, we will hold another Three Seas Summit, accompanied also by a business forum. These are our annual meetings, and their aim is to discuss development challenges, to talk about next formats of cooperation, to forge closer cooperation. Prime Ministers, Mr. Professor, Excellencies, Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, at this year's meeting in Dalian, we are discussing the development perspective and also globalization. 35 years ago, when Poland was starting its road to the market economy, I think nobody would have been able to predict this huge civilization leap which we have been able to make as an economic tiger of Europe, as we are sometimes called. And still, as Victor Hugo wrote once, nothing is more unavoidable or inevitable than the impossible. So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite all of you to reflect on things that are impossible, because Poland is a perfect example of that. things impossible are possible. They are doable. So this is the example. If you look in the global perspective, if you look in the perspective of global leaders, the best example of such approach is also China, our host of this economic forum. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for inviting me to Dalian. I'm really delighted to stand in front of you at this World Economic Forum. As I stand every year in Davos, it's great that I can be here also on the other edge of our continent, Eurasia. I can come to Dalian to be here with you, to discuss, to share my reflections. I'm delighted that I'm able to do everything to make sure that the economic development of the world goes as fast as possible, and ensuring that living standards of our people are higher. This should give us satisfaction, but this is also for the good of the future generations, first and foremost. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, President Duda, for a strong voice from a country in the center of Europe and representing actually a very dynamic and fast-growing country which inspires optimism for the whole of Europe. Now I would like to invite His Excellency Pham Minh Chinh, Prime Minister of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, to deliver his special address. It is a great honor for us to have His Excellency here at the summer at Davos for the second year in a row, and after having had the pleasure to welcoming you also in the snow of Davos in January this year. We appreciate very much, Prime Minister, your personal commitment to this forum. Vietnam has been a beacon of economic growth and development, even as we, to a certain extent, continue to face headwinds in the global economy. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, we are very looking forward to your speech, telling us all about the potential of your country, and we should not forget your country as a very important, dynamic engine also of the whole Southeast Asian region. Prime Minister, please join us here.
Excellency Prime Minister Lee Chang, President Duda of the Republic of Poland, Professor Schwab, Excellencies, leaders of countries, international organizations, members of the business community. For me, it's a privilege to come for the third year to the annual meeting of the New Champions, as Professor Schwab said. And I sincerely thank Mr. Prime Minister and Professor Klaus Schwab for extending the invitation to me and the high-level delegation of Vietnam. Next Frontier for Growth and the 6 themes at this year's conference reflect the strategic, responsible vision of the World Economic Forum and the important role of China on the future development of the world. We believe that the future of the globe hinges on 3 primary factors and is shaped and propelled by 3 key areas. The 3 impactful factors include the rapid advancement of science and technology, innovation, particularly in digitalization and artificial intelligence, AI, the profound impacts of climate change, natural disasters, resource depletion, and aging population, as the speaker has mentioned. The growing fragmentation and polarization fueled by conflicts, wars, of global-scale geostrategic, geopolitical, geoeconomic competitions. The 3 stabilizing areas include First, development of digital economy. Second, development of green economy and circular economy. And three, development of high-quality human resources and AI. And the fourth, industrial revolution. The evolution of this transformative area will usher in the next frontiers for growth with profound and far-reaching impact on every person, sector, and all over the world. This calls for the adoption of a new mindset and approach, which should be people-centered, comprehensive, result-oriented, with a global perspective. All should win, delivering overall benefits to all, both in immediate and long term, as Prime Minister Li Qiang has mentioned. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the second big point I want to share with you. The world today is at peace at large, but local wars persist. Overall rapprochement is marred by regional tensions. Predominant stability is occasionally disrupted by local conflicts. The global economy is marked by intertwined opportunities, risks, and challenges, and this can be outlined in 5 prominent features. The global economy is undergoing an unprecedented, extensive, and all-round transformation driven by the rapid advancement of science, technology, innovation, the fourth industrial revolution. Sustainable development, inclusivity, and green growth have become more urgent than ever for all countries and the globe. The trend of polarized globalization unfolds opportunities for economic cooperation and integration, while also contains underlying risks of disrupted supply and production chains and fierce competition. Therefore, in our views, a diversification of markets, the diversification of production chain of goods, of supply chain, is appropriate and effective. Developing countries' roles and voices are increasingly recognized, contributing actively and positively to shaping new global cooperation frameworks and development trends. The roles of developing countries are essential. Asia, particularly China and ASEAN, are emerging as key drivers, dynamic development hubs, and engines of global economic growth. The frontiers for development and also the focus of development. Leaders, ladies and gentlemen, the third point I want to make is that to embark on the next frontiers for growth, let us unite to foster trust, promote dialogue, bolster the spirit of solidarity, unity, cooperation, and development. We must effectively address regional and global issues based on the principles of law and ensure the harmonious interest of all parties involved, not politicalizing or discriminating the global science, technology, and innovation. We know that the major issues, like the previous speaker shared with us, currently we are facing with issues pertaining to wars, to conflicts, the aging population, depletion of natural resources, climate change. All these issues are at the global level, all people. So we have to respond with new methodology, new approach, which is global, all people. Global approach should adhere to the multilateralization, international solidarity, all united. All people approach is that the people should be at the heart and the subject and the ultimate goal. That should be the way we deal with the global issues. Vietnam suggests that the World Economic Forum, its partners, the business community, enhance their roles in offering guidance, providing support, advocating public-private partnerships, while also taking the lead in guiding the development. Developed countries need to support, assist, and collaborate with poor developing countries, especially in the following areas. First, strengthen and refine institutions of market economy. Second, provide especially in mobilizing and effectively utilizing all resources, enhancing the effectiveness of national governments, provide support and assistance in resources for the development of strategic infrastructure systems, like the speech made by President Duda, with focus on transportation, digital infrastructure, climate change adaptation, social, healthcare, education, infrastructure. We call them strategic infrastructure. Developed countries, the business community should support and assist developing countries in these regards. Third, transfer advanced technologies and support for the training and development of human capital, human resources, especially the quality human resources. Developing countries are very much indeed at the high quality human resources. Especially Vietnam suggests that international cooperation in making, planning, and implementing policies at regional and global level. In the current context, we suggest that we strengthen cooperation for growth, coordinate more closely in management of dynamic, proactive, flexible, timely, effective monetary policy, especially reducing the interest rate. Currently, the interest, especially of the Fed, that affects the interest rate of all countries, that we must use dollar as means of payment. We called on countries to reduce the interest rate, and we should combine with the cautiously open fiscal policy with public investment leading the private investment. Trade and investment liberalization should also be bolstered. We should remove all barriers to trade, all barriers to protectionism. And that will stimulate short-term total demand while also impacting positively the total demand in the long term. So we have to work together among the international community with regard to the monetary policy and fiscal policy. In terms of the monetary policy, we must be proactive, we must be timely, we must be effective. Fiscal policy, we must adopt an open fiscal policy with focuses. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth point, as a close neighbor bound by shared mountains and rivers, Vietnam and China currently working together to build a community with a shared future. Vietnam is pleased to witness China's strong development and rise amidst difficult and challenging regional and world situation. China has become the world's second largest economy, achieving the record fastest growth for the past 4 decades, with significant contributions to the global economic growth. According to the report in April 2023 of the World Bank and IMF, the share of global growth of China between 2013 and 2021 is over 38%, which is huge. The development advancement of China would be the opportunities and inspire many opportunities for countries. China is among few countries that increasingly takes on the leadership role in addressing regional and global challenges, promoting various cooperation initiatives on security, well-being and development, and occupying a pivotal position in global production and supply chains. It has emerged as a global front runner in research and development, science and technology, renewable energy, and information technology, as mentioned by Premier Li Qiang. We are confident that China will continue to play a crucial role in the global economy, particularly in advancing digital, green transformation, circular economy, and bolstering international economic integration and cooperation. A strong, self-reliant Chinese economy with fair competition and deep integration will have positive impacts on the world, as we strongly encourage China's continued commitment to work with the international community to vigorously champion multilateralism, bolster international solidarity and cooperation, and safeguard a peaceful, stable, and cooperative environment for prosperous development in the region and the entire world. Our President Ho Chi Minh, the national liberation hero, a world man of culture, said 50 years ago, marking the 10th anniversary of Chinese National Day, congratulate China, thank China, and learn from China. The success of China's reform and openness in the past 50 years, and the role and position of China today testifies to the relevance of the statement made by our President Ho Chi Minh 65 years ago. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the fifth point that I want to make, as Professor Schwarzkopf prompts me, Vietnam's success over the past nearly 4 decades is attributed to the key terms reform, innovation, and integration. These endeavors have yielded profound and historic achievements. Vietnam has undergone a remarkable transformation, emerging from a position of a 30-year war-torn, embargoed country. No countries in the world in the 20th century that has suffered so much like Vietnam. We had to fight with fascism, with new colonialism, the old colonialism, with border war, with the Pol Pot regime, and suffered from isolation and embargo for 30 years. We have opened the economy, and at the time is 1/10 of Poland's economy, about $4 billion, when we embarked upon reform. And Vietnam has become a middle-income nation among the top 20 economy, top 20 in terms of trade investment partners, with 16 free trade agreements, FTA, and diplomatic relations with 193 countries. In 2023, Vietnam's economy surged to 430 billion. It means more than 100 times when we opened our economy 30 years ago. GDP per capita when we opened our economy was about $100, but last year we reached $4,300 with 100 million population. Foreign investment reached a record level of 36.6 billion in 2024. The first quarter saw the growth of 5.66%, and the second quarter expected to surpass this. And at the end of the year, we would expect about 6.5% of growth. Vietnam is lauded as a model for healing the wounds of war. We have shelved the past, respected differences, look to the future to forge friendship from former adversaries. All United Nations Millennium Development Goals were achieved. These achievements underscore the effectiveness of Vietnam's development strategies and policies. We have 3 pillars of development. One is to build socialist-oriented democracy to mobilize the strength of the entire people, domestic and international. Second, we build a socialist rule of law for the people, of the people, and by the people. All should be geared to the people. The people will participate in that rule of law state. 3 is develop socialist-oriented market economy. Market economy must abide by the value law, supply, demand law, competition law, but as a developing country like Vietnam, we must have the regulation from the government where necessary in order to make sure that people's life is stable, like President Napoleon said. And with these 3 pillars, with people at the center, they are both subjects, the ultimate goal, the driving force. And we do not sacrifice social progress, social security, social justice for economic growth. And in parallel with these pillars, we identify 6 policies. First, independent, self-reliant foreign policy with multilateralized and diversified international relations. We are a friend and reliable partner of all countries, a reliable and responsible country and member of the international community for peace and development. Second, a defense policy. All the people. It relies on the people, security by the people, and rooted by the heart of the people. And the defense policy follows no military alliance, no against another country, no use of territory against a third country, or no use of threatening the use of force in international relations. And economic development embrace as a central task. We build independent, self-reliant economy through proactive, effective international integration, and economic development is a central task. Fourth is ensure social progress, equality, social security, with no one left behind. And fifth, promote an advanced culture infused with national identity. The culture is the endogenous light. So the culture lights set the way for the nation. The culture exists, the nation exists. The country is gone, then the nation is gone. It is national, is scientific, is popular. Sixth, establish a transparent, robust political system, coupled with the three breakthroughs. The first one is the establishment of institutions of market economy. The second breakthrough is the development of strategic infrastructure, and the third one is human resources. We hope that the international community, members of the business community, should come to Vietnam, invest in Vietnam, and focus on that three breakthroughs on the basis of science, technology, and innovation. Regionally, Vietnam has been playing a key role and actively contributing to an ASEAN community which is strong, united, cooperative. With unity and diversity, Vietnam, alongside ASEAN, will deepen collaboration with China, the World Economic Forum, and other partners to champion new drivers of growth. Simultaneously, we will make every effort to maintain and strengthen an environment of peace, stability, cooperation, and development in the region and the world. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, there's a Chinese proverb that says, a single tree does not make a forest. And we have our beloved President, Ho Chi Minh's thought, solidarity, and great solidarity, success, and great success. For the world of equality, we should unite, remain permanent and relevant. We should aim for the new front for the prosperous people, for happy and better life of all people and humanity. We should join three together, listen together, share with each other in terms of the vision and action, work together, benefit from together, win together, and develop together. Interests are shared, risks are shared. With that, I conclude my speech. May I wish the forum a great success. I may wish you all good health, success, and happiness. Thank you very much.
The theme of this annual meeting is Next Frontiers for Growth. But actually, what we have seen in the presentations, there are now limits to growth, provided we use technologies of the fourth industrial revolution in a wise manner, as the Prime Minister of Vietnam said, in a human-centered way, provided we take care of nature and see the green economy as a great opportunity for humankind and also for stimulating the economy, provided also we fully exploit the innovational and entrepreneurial capability of the people sitting here in the room by formulating effective means of cooperation between governments and business, and finally, and most importantly, by working together on a global level, always being aware that we are humanity with a shared destiny. In this respect, I invite you to join me in extending again our warm applause to Premier Lee, President Duda,